everybody out there in YouTube land. So this will be the first video of our preparations for the Great Loop. I'm pretty excited. This is going to be a trip of a lifetime. I wish my dad could be here, but in spirit he's definitely going to be here with me. So, starting to work on getting the boat ready for such a long journey. One of the things I'm going to be adding in is a jack line here. So I have a U-bolt that I'm going to connect. I'm going to put in right here so that I'll be able to connect that to my life jacket, and I'll be able to get all the way up here or back there. I don't have it yet, but I'm going to hook up some lifelines from either these cleats up to the front cleats, or kind of from here and run it on the outside of that up to the front cleat. I'm not sure yet how that's going to work. And then with the harness, as long as it is, you can clip in both sides to your life jacket, and then you can put it around the mast when you're up there working on the mast. So that should be good for safety. There's going to be, it's kind of going to be three distinct different trips, like for boat use. One is going to be going down the Mississippi, so we're going to have to set everything up as kind of a river cruiser, be a river rat. So we're going to have the mast down, and as you can see back here on the solar panel, I have a roller, and I'm going to put the mast on that, and then I'm probably going to get a 2x6 and put that up under it too for support, just so it's not real rough on the solar panel mounting there. And then we have an A-frame that I can hook up in the front, and then some fiddle blocks hooked up, and then I can run the line back to the winch here. And I've never done it by myself, but with two people, one person winches and one just stands there and kind of goes with it. So what I'm thinking is I can do that, or I can be up there and push the mast up and grab the rope and pull it with my hand as well, once we get down closer to the Gulf of Mexico. Going down the river, I'm going to want a light, so I'm going to put a light up on the front pulpit up there, and that'll be so we get a good front shot of everything if we need light going down the river. I've got extra butyl tape, all the wiring. I got the service manual for the OMC sail drive that's in this boat. One of the things that's really cool, OMC sail drive, is it's actually made for fresh and salt water. So that was kind of just like an added bonus. I don't have to worry about having a heat exchanger or anything that's going to mess with the heating and cooling or wet exhaust for the... So that'll make that way easier. There's an anode down in here for the water pump. I'm going to take that out and get a new one of those before I go as well. So when I came out to the boat, Bruce and Pam, they are amazing. He sent me, or left me, a book on West Coastal waterways. Two distinct parts of the journey, besides river cruising, will be coastal sailing down along the Gulf in Florida, and then up the East Coast, and then we'll go through the Erie Canal, and then we'll go through the Great Lakes, and we'll have Great Lakes sailing. So it'll be three kind of very distinct different things, and I want to make sure I'm prepared for everything. One of my friends that I went to high school with, she used to live down in the Caribbean, and one of the things that she told me as a good adage to have is 2 is 1 and 1 is none, because if something breaks and you don't have a spare, it's like you had nothing at all. So I'm kind of trying to get that all figured out and accounted for. We're going to have a spare outboard along with the inboard motor. I'm going to have my chart plotter. I'm going to have a spare chart plotter. We're going to have extra cotter pins, cotter rings, clevis pins, all that. We got extra wiring. We got extra food. I'm going to bring 40 gallons of water and 40 gallons of fuel. The engine uses about a gallon an hour, so that should be 40 hours of motoring before we have to fill up, so that should be pretty good. Just Trying to think of anything else that I tell you about on this preparation video. Insurance is a big thing. I had auto owner's insurance for the boat here at Terry's Marina, and in the policy it says they'll cover anything in the United States within 50 miles. Ooh, excuse me. Sorry about that. But after telling them about the Great Loop, they said they don't want to cover me, so I ended up having to get some other insurance that I'm working on right now. And then we're going to do Boat US towing. That's going to be definitely worth it. I've done a lot of research, and when you're going on a 6,000 mile trip, if you break down, to get towed to anywhere out in the Gulf of Mexico is very, very spendy. So that should pay off. I think they cover up to 50 miles or 60 miles off of shore. So those are things that if you're going to do the Great Loop, you want to make sure you consider, because you might think you have insurance and they might not cover you. And you'll have to go with a different company that'll be probably more expensive. Yeah, and then we'll have a bunch of... I'm going to take that stove out because we never use it. That's the one that came with the boat. And then we redid the cutting board with epoxy and everything, so it looks real shiny. But I think I'm going to cut that, get rid of that, and then I'll have that for storage and whatnot. I'm going to bring a lot of Chef Boyardee and like Campbell's soup. Chef Boyardee ravioli or spaghetti and meatballs. I picked that up from Eric Andrada, and no bullshit, just sailing. You don't have to heat it or anything, you can just eat it out of the can. So I doubt he will ever watch my videos, but if he sees this, thank you for that tip, and it works out pretty well. I am going to hook up our little inverter here. It is 150 watts, and then I can plug it in there, and I'm gonna get our drill all charged up. I'm gonna drill my holes out here to get the U-bolt put in for the safety harness, and that's the plan right now. So it kind of works out really nice having that inverter, so you can plug in stuff. It's not a super heavy duty one, but it definitely works when you need it. Come on here and I'll show you how it works. Just a cool little inverter. It's only got one plug. But for if you have to charge, say, a laptop, it's worked for. It doesn't charge super fast with a laptop, but it will charge it. Or if you have to charge power tools, it works wonderfully. And then if you're out and about on the go, since you have the solar panel and everything, it gives you the ability to do a lot more and not have to worry about shore power. I am going to bring a hookup for shore power and a cord, just in case, but we shouldn't need anything. With the solar panel on the 300 watt panel, and we have a 200 amp hour battery. So, and they say you never want to go below 50% for the health of your battery, so we have 100 amp hours, and like the TV and all the lights and everything, that uses maybe 4 or 5 at night, and that's if we have like everything on. So we should have 20 hours of power before we would need to start to charge. And as you know, the sun comes up every 12 hours, so we would be good to go. One thing that I would think would be really cool to throw back there up on the corner is a wind generator, but time to figure that out. Maybe when I'm down in Florida in the Gulf, when I figure I'm going to stop somewhere and kind of check on the boat and do repairs and everything, maybe I can figure out something then. Because then at night you would also, if there's a little bit of breeze, just the way it ends up happening in the breeze, you'd end up having a lot more extra power at night even too, so that would be kind of cool. So this video is almost 10 minutes long. That is preparations number 1 for the Great Loop trip on the Catalina 25. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below, or any tips or anything that I should think about before going. I would definitely love to hear that as well. Hit that like button and subscribe, it helps us out. I'll see you guys later.